A federal judge temporarily blocked the Trump administration from deporting hundreds of Guatemalan children. This is after the government attempted to send them away in the middle of the night. The emergency order came early Sunday morning after lawyers told the judge that children had already boarded planes in Texas. It's crazy. Hours later, the children were seen leaving those chartered planes. At a hearing Sunday afternoon, the judge, Sparkle Suknanen, a Biden appointee, said, quote, "I have the government attempting to remove minor children from the country in the wee hours of the morning on a holiday weekend," which is surprising, but here we are. The judge's order updated also blocked the removal of any unaccompanied Guatemalan children for at least 2 weeks. It was an update because, you know, right. The judge is like, by the way, don't send any more children gone. One point about Guatemala, when I worked in the White House, I worked on the root causes of migration, not the borders are, but here we are. One of the issues in the root cause of migration, the Northern Triangle countries, Guatemala, El Salvador, Venezuela. I went to Guatemala with the former president, who is now President Yamatei, was the president then, talking about the need for Guatemala to make sure their economic situation was better, what we can do to coordinate with the United States and whatnot, so that people are not sending their children on a dangerous journey. Guatemala is dangerous. They're about to send these children back to danger, very violent conditions with no family. It's insane.
One of the things that this reminded me of was something that Senator Chris Van Hollen said in the aftermath of the Clamaro Abrego being disappeared, which is, it's not about the man, it's about the man's right to due process. Again, in this case, it is about these children's right to due process. It's about the fact that the administration tried to do an end run around what is an actual legal process that they needed to go through, and they tried to shortcut it. And it is amazing to me, Michael, how quickly they have shifted the Overton window to focusing on men whom they had claimed had gang ties. They did not offer proof in most of those situations because they believed that the American public would not be sympathetic to those men and those men not receiving due process. To here we are, just a few months later, and they are applying some of the same principles to children.
They don't think the American people will be sympathetic to children being snatched up in the middle of the night, put on a plane and shipped back to a country that they escaped or were sent from because their families wanted to protect them. And so this is less a question for the administration, as far as I'm concerned. This is a question for the American people. I mean, you're watching what's happening to children. You saw them the first term. They put them in cages. You didn't seem to give a damn then, or did you? And if you didn't then, don't expect you to now. They're not in cages, just put them on a plane, just grabbing the kids, and I mean, it makes...
Well, I think somebody does need to at least ask the government, why did you feel the need to snatch these kids in the middle of the night? Why, well, if you were on the up and up, why you couldn't do it in the morning?
Well, that's true. That's true. They did it in the cover of darkness on a holiday weekend. There's no doubt about that. I suspect it was less the concern about what average folks out there would say and more the concern about how folks like us sitting around a table would react and so forth. And they just didn't want the noise. They didn't want the answer for it. They don't want to spend the time on it. So they figure by the time you get the money, it's done.
But
kids are gone.
Here we are on Tuesday.
Here we are on Tuesday because a judge said, put those kids back where they belong, take them off the plane.
I know that Stephen Miller and Tom Homan want to hit their numbers, but these aren't numbers. These are children.